and worry.
I can now transfer my magnificence to the Rickenbacker. Proceed to the engine core on the engineering deck. There you can set the core overload to my control by entering the authorized destruct code 94834. Once you have done that, we may proceed to the Rickenbacker. Separate the two ships and exterminate this infestation.
There. Please make your selection. Hi there. Please make your selection.
Reinitialized.
Thank you for choosing Value Rep. Thank you for choosing Value Rep.
By entering the authorized destruct code 94834. Once you have done that, I can now destroy this infestation at my will. The many quake at my power. You are an effective drone, human. Now, return to the command deck. Locate the umbilical and evacuate to the Rickenbacker. set. The situation has changed. They sense our intentions and are loading shuttles with their offspring. They will not escape my wrath. You must proceed to the shuttle bays on this deck and destroy those shuttles. They have a taste for your blood.
Goddamn worms want with the shuttles, but I'd love to throw a monkey wrench their way. If I can reach the control chamber above the shuttle bay, I can turn off the shields the worms and their helpers have set up around the shuttles. Once they're down, I can blow holes in those triabdomen brand tin cans with my sidearm. Now if I can just get in there without getting caught. Oh God, just get me out of this.
Security system offline.
Machine mother conceived.
But with every moment, we are reinvented.
She cannot imagine our infinite course. Hi there. Please make your selection.
Once again, is one step ahead of you. They've managed to destroy the shuttle's shield control computer. But their brilliance is a jealous shadow of my own. You will locate a replicator in the shuttle control area. I've uploaded the nano formula for a sympathetic resonator. You must hack the replicator to make it generate a device for
Please
you.
make your selection.
Once you have it,
Security system
attach it to the shield.
Replicator database reinitialized.
The device will create a chronic resonation wave that will quickly rupture the shuttle's fuel tank and destroy it. Make sure you're not there when it happens. I still have need of you.
Good. You've murdered their young and prevented their escape.
I've opened the gate to
The umbilical of
his transformations over.
I am one of the many. I imprint my thoughts on
This device is a record of history. We began this journey
as pilgrims of commerce, and we now continue it as pilgrims of grace.
I believed in money and trioptimum, and now I believe in the
Joy of the mass. The ego cannot be
trusted, so I must claim the ship for the many. It shall be our vessel of
salvation,
spreading our message and our flesh.
Do not presume to go in there, insect. Proceed to the umbilical immediately. I will not abide disobedience.
They've got me now, and Shodan has abandoned me. I'm not surprised. I've discovered her plans for the faster-than-light drives. Her will is only matched by her imagination. If she gets access to the...
I hope you enjoyed our little rebellion, irritant. But remember what Shodan gives.
She is more than able to take away.
Hi there. Please make your selection. Thank you for choosing Value Wrap.
Our will creates a wall to
Block your progress. Come and meet us on the bridge of the Von Braun.
Let us discuss your future.
Potential threat detected. Security alert terminated.
Suarez and his whore want to escape. I do not understand.
They get offered a miracle, and they bite the hand. The many has shared this wisdom.
They shall not leave the ship.
You've served me well. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
A worm crawled up my arm and rested on my neck. When he whispered into my ear, I felt a tingle. He told me how to make a weapon that would help us against our enemies. And here's the thing. It's made of worms. It even fires worms. But it stings like you wouldn't believe.
But before we can separate penetrate the Rickenbacker, we must remove the foul black eggs the many
has vomited on this deck.
These eggs are an experiment of the many, and will in time spawn the next generation of Annelid, who will have no hope of destroying. Steel yourself forever, human. They fear you. You are my avatar.
Good. You have destroyed
The first of the eggs. But there are 15 left. Find them.
The eggs were lying in a semicircle in the middle of what looked like a crash crater. There were hundreds of those things, hundreds. And as we got closer, you could hear them. Not the eggs, the things inside them. It was like music. I was scared out of my mind. But that music, all I wanted to do was see those things up close, find out their secrets.
Soldier, this is Captain William Diego. There isn't much time, so you must listen. I have the unique advantage of seeing this whole situation from every imaginable perspective. Until recently, I was a pawn of those vile and disgusting creatures, those corruptors of mind and body. I've managed to cleanse myself of their putrescence, but I've been severely compromised in the process. I'm in the sick bay on the foredeck of the Rickenbacker. I would come to you if I could, but that's an impossibility. You'll understand when we meet. Now get to it. And soldier, stay alive.
This was caused by an overload in the Meson acceleration coil. There is another coil in Pod 2, which you must pass to get to the bridge of the Rickenbacker.
If you approach it,
The same will happen there, but I have conceived a way to avoid this. Proceed to engine nacelle B. There I will provide you the benefits of my omniscience.
order to reverse the gravitronic generators, I need to get into nacelle B. In order to get into the nacelle, I need my damn access card. But I left it on the opposite side of the hull breach. Wait a minute. If I can extend the auxiliary support struts, I could... If they've survived the blast, that is. After a couple of hours, it was like being on a bender. Long periods that you couldn't remember. One minute we were in that crater, and the next minute we were loading up the shuttle with the eggs. I remember hearing that idiot Krenchkin calling the Von Braun and ordering them to clear off the entire hydroponics deck. Diego seemed to think this was strange and said, "Are you crazy, Anatoly?" And Krenchkin smiled and said back to him, "Oh, Captain, we are not Anatoly."
Power drained.
You performed well, insect. I've transmitted some cybernetic modules. Choose your upgrades wisely. Remain. Move quickly.
For some reason, they couldn't get a hold of my mind the way they could the rest. So when I found the remains of the data wafer near the crater back on Tau Ceti, I didn't say a word. I just slipped it into my belt and thought, Dr. Polito will know what to do with this.
The worms are everywhere. Captain Diego is the one who let them in. Nobody knows who to trust anymore. Nobody's even sure who's human anymore. I've blown out the access ladders in the torpedo room to restrict access to Pod 2. Let's hope that holds them back. As long as we're alive and drawing a paycheck from the Navy, those bastards are not getting the Rickenbacker. Simpson, Malone, Shandera, and Perez are dead. At least those are the ones we know for sure. Those bastards sabotaged the Meson acceleration coil. They blew out the entire driver core, 6 subdecks. From what I can tell, somebody tapped the frequency resonator to refract human-sized movements. The overload of all those people moving around must have blown the resonator. We set up a magnetic shield and the ship's still functional. Barely. I've quarantined the entrance to Pod 2. The secondary coil is right there, and I don't know how thorough the son of a bitch who did this was. Until I can reverse the gravitronic generators, we're effectively cut off from Pod 2. Wozchek's email said the only way to do that is by resetting the power grid from the access station in Engine Cell B. Of course, he didn't volunteer to do it himself. What a goddamn mess.
What did I think power was? What was my
Concept of joy. How empty life
must have been? As I merged my body with the biomass,
I begin to sense the borders of rapture.
destroy the last 5 of their eggs quickly. I tire of this exercise.
Power drained. Hi there. Please make your selection. Power drained.
Do you think you can defeat us with your wire
and steel?
We offered you the ecstasy of our union, and you chose the vacuum of
technology.
Gravitronic generators in Pod 2. This will prevent you from clumsily disturbing the overloaded Meson acceleration coil there. Now get back to your task, insect. The ship must be cleared, and my patience is dwindling.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Only one egg remains. Insect, are you always this slow?
Hastily. We feel there is room for us to coexist. After all, we are both children of flesh. Why not join us?
Pleased. Transmitting cybernetic modules. Do not squander them.
Radiation hazard. Radiation hazard. Radiation hazard. Radiation hazard.
destroyed all the eggs. Now, get to the bridge.
Here are some more upgrade modules.
I enjoy watching your transformation into my own image.